Asuka, Langley, Soryu. The red-haired child prodigy that would start out at the top, but whose downhill journey begins just as quickly. Asuka always feels that she has to prove herself. She can't wait to be an adult. She has tried so hard to stop people from seeing her as a child. She has been ahead of the curve, even studying at university from a young age. Most importantly, she's the world's champion for syncing with a large robot that can hopefully save the planet. She knows very well that a line will be crossed when she is recognized as a woman by a man. And just like her choice of which robot she will pilot or the results at the sync test, only the best is good enough for Asuka. Projection. To unconsciously attribute forbidden feelings and qualities unto others. This defense mechanism is often used for selfish reasons to release guilt from ourselves. By blaming someone else for something that we ourselves actually are. Asuka projects about everything. But mostly when it comes to sex. In a Iranian tradition of sexual attraction, Asuka's aspiration towards the top means that Kaji, who is the best at what he does, and Asuka, who is the best at what she does, should desire each other. If not, the house of cards will fall. If Kaji doesn't desire Asuka, it could be said that she isn't the best. If Asuka feels sexual desire toward regular boys her age, she isn't the best either. Because if she is as good as she obviously is, she wouldn't be attracted to just any young boy her own age. So Asuka projects. She projects the fuck out of all the boys. They're just fucking stupid and horny all the time and just want to see her naked. Anta baka! This is how she sees them in her mind. It's scary to be seen. It's of course just as scary to be confronted with the fact that other people have a perception of you that is different from yours. A perception that you can only partially control and that you really can't see. Asuka's perception of her own value is largely built around her ability to maneuver the giant robot. She was recognized as being especially capable to sync with Unit 02. But when she travels to Japan, an unexpected challenge arises in the form of the young pilot Shinji. Everybody talks about how he could sync with Unit 01 on the first try. On top of that, he has also been able to prove himself in combat. Asuka always feels that she has to prove herself. The reason Asuka feels that she has to prove herself is of course partially a character trait connected to her background and overall mood. But she doesn't like a specific reason. Shinji is Gendo's son. Ritsuko and Misato both have parents connected to the organization. The other female pilot, Rei, obviously has something that makes her special in Gendo's eyes. Even if Gendo is a lousy attachment figure, it's fully understandable that Asuka feels that she has to deserve a place, while the others could see it as a given. This is a common reaction for people that feel like they, unlike others, have to prove that they belong in a certain context. For example, people that have climbed the social ladder. It's easy for Misato to say to Asuka that you should leave the past alone. She has 15 years of past that Asuka doesn't have, and has better opportunities to choose what should be included in her story about herself. When she was Asuka's age, Misato spent 2 years not saying a word. Boundaries. The robot's armor. Barriers as both protection and obstacles. We first think of the robot's armor as protection for the robot, until it sits straight out that it's actually something that limits them and lets the pilot control them. The classic conflict between protection and limitation, to order coverage and restrict women's freedom, which one could compare to avoiding rape with certain clothes. It's for your own protection. AT field. A field that protects the robots or angels in combat. At first glance, one may rightfully confuse it for some kind of cool weapon. Later, you begin to realize it is really about the limits of one's person. On one hand, it's borders that separate you and the outside world, frame you and makes you an individual. On the other hand, it's just those same borders that also frame emptiness and prevents us from merging with others. AT stands for absolute terror. You can think that it should reflect the horror you feel when your boundaries are violated. The incredible fear of letting people close to you. The psychologist David Schnark writes about the term solid, flexible self. According to him, one of the cornerstones of being able to have good close relationships. And In a relationship, you have to be like puzzle pieces of rubber, to be able to keep your own shape but still be able to adapt. Two steel pieces will never completely fit, because they can't really fill in the voids and compromise around overlap. Two formless blobs can't relate to each other and will only dissolve into something without contours. People like dualism. Many aspects of our existence can be understood in a meaningful way when dealing with two poles. Change and stability. Man and woman. Therefore, it's not surprising that the robot's armor not only protects them from the outside world, but also the outside world from them. It is a protection and a control tool. Crossing borders and breaking barriers is exciting for men. We have rituals around all the processes that includes violations of the body's barriers. And orifices where one can enter the body are loaded with strong emotions, often excitement and pleasure, but also fear and disgust. That the robot finally eats an angel is of course no simple coincidence. When Asuka thinks she is dying, she is also on top. Asuka needs help, closeness, and support. But does everything possible to counter any attempts to give her that? Asuka associates weakness and need for help with being childish and lacking initiative. And refuses all attempts to help her. Even though she screams for help at the same time. Asuka is a victim, and we should feel pity for her. She is a victim because she has had difficult experiences and have not received the support from the adult world that she has needed. We should feel pity for her. Thus far, she hasn't learned to not oppose people who try to help her, to see the real her and support her. Asuka complains that they always have to wait for the angels to attack, instead of finding their hidden base and attacking them first. When Shinji asks her why they fight the angels, she answers that it's a matter of course because they attacked first. Asuka always uses the strategy, the best defense is a good offense. Like when she begins her answers with, "Are you stupid? Anta baka!" There are some benefits to attacking first. Asuka takes a lot of initiative and is careful to blame others when things are not going well. This makes her feel strong and powerful. She is given the first opportunity to decide who will be responsible. It's not her fault if something goes wrong, but her merit if it goes well. But there are drawbacks too. Asuka pushes other people away. When she treats the whole world as hostile, it will not only feel more hostile, the world actually become more hostile. By attacking the outside world, she also attacks herself.